Welcome to Cosmic Kickback, the galaxy's favorite talk show. My name is Josh. With me, as always, is my co-host, Nick.
What's up, everybody?
We're finally back after a month or two break. Hey, man, summer's been rough. But we're back because movies are back because Christopher Nolan dropped.
Oh, I mean, dude, I feel like we were talking about last year in August. You can't go to the movies and see a bad movie. Like, there's a lot of good stuff that's come out, dude.
There has, and I mean, just this next week, as of recording this, we're gonna be getting Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Oh my gosh, another Tom Holland and John Bernthal team up.
Oh, wait, that's actually true. Yeah, we got him in this movie.
Well,
at the top of this episode, before we get into it, anyone that is new listening to this, just so y'all know, this is a podcast where we talk about all things movie, TV shows, pop culture, mostly movie and TV shows, but every now and then we might dabble in some other things. I've actually been thinking, Nick, every now and then maybe we should go back to like our old like season 1 days and do like a random episode. Like we have some old episodes where we're talking about like Valentine's Day and like love and relationships. Like I don't know why, but we did that, and it's not movie or TV show related, but those are some good episodes.
Yeah, that was fun. That was with the homies, man.
Yeah, I think maybe every now and then we should do something like that just for fun.
I agree.
I don't want to make any promises because I know it's low-key been a struggle to stay consistent just with the pod, but I mean I would love to do that as well as like make other content whenever there's the opportunity, but I know it's everyone will be busy, so it's hard to schedule everything, but hey, we'll see. You never know.
Something's always in the works.
But yeah, if you guys want to go in the description below, you can find timestamps to skip ahead to the spoiler section of the review. I don't think we're going to do any news in this episode just because there's a lot of stuff we can maybe touch on, since we can maybe do another episode where we briefly talk about movies we missed as well as news we missed. And because I know Supergirl came out, we didn't do an episode on that. Some other things came out. Maybe we can do like a rapid fire review episode. But for now, this is just the Odyssey. And we're going to do, since it's just came out, it's only been out not even a full week yet. Well, it will be a week by the time that this is posted. But we're going to do non-spoilers for people that are still trying to get out there, because I know it's sold out almost everywhere. If you want to skip straight to spoilers, then, that'll be in the description below. But anyways, Nick, let's dive right into it, bro.
Yeah, the Odyssey finally came out. This is like I think this was for sure my top 3 like most anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this on a Thursday. I think Josh ended up seeing it like on the weekend.
I saw it Sunday, early morning Sunday. I did not see it opening day or Friday or Saturday. I had to see it the last day of the weekend.
Okay, I will say I've seen this movie twice, man, and I feel like the second time, dude, it hits. I will say I have not seen it in IMAX yet, just because those tickets have been like,
oh my god, yeah.
I swear when they went on sale like a year ago, they got snatched up, which is insane. So like, yeah, I'm gonna try to see an IMAX showing, especially the 70mm. But this movie was entirely shot on IMAX cameras, which is crazy. I know Nolan's like one of the few filmmakers that wants to do things practically.
Mm-hmm.
He uses minimal CGI, but I honestly think after seeing it for the second time, this is like my favorite movie of his.
Damn.
No doubt.
Damn.
And I am kind of coming. It hasn't been out a week, so maybe I'm coming off the bandwagon high, bro. But I do love Nolan, okay? And I'm not a Nolan glazer. I'll say that.
Best cap.
Dude, no, I have some critiques. Like I didn't like the sound design. I'm just talking about Nolan, not this movie.
But, okay.
Like I feel like the choreography in Batman sometimes was like rough, right?
Yeah, it is.
I feel like the sound design in Tenet was a little loud.
Yeah, I agree. I actually have been meaning to rewatch that movie with subtitles on, because I don't know what the fuck was being said in the theater. Yeah.
The fuck's going on? But I feel like with the Odyssey, he's kind of nailed like his editing style, because the pacing in this felt really it honestly feels like the shortest 3-hour movie ever, bro. Like I didn't really take my eyes off the screen.
It really did. It's paced extremely well. Like it's just like, and it doesn't feel like a constant. I mean, in a ways it does. I was gonna say it doesn't feel like a constant like pedal to the metal like kind of thing. It's like there are moments where it slows down and then picks back up. I feel like it's just like you said, it doesn't feel like 3 hours at all. For me, it was just like a breeze. And uh yeah, man, it's just extremely impressive seeing that it was filmed entirely with the IMAX cameras. I mean, they made a whole new rig for this since those cameras are
Yeah.
notoriously loud.
Isn't it like a cat box or like a blimp or something?
Yeah, they basically had to make like a giant box thing that kind of muffles the sound enough so they could actually pick up audio. Because normally IMAX cameras are used for just like establishing shots or big wides or just action shots, but they can't really capture normal dialogue scenes because of just the how loud they are. There's actually some behind the scenes shots. Nolan had to, in some shots, they had to set up a mirror rig because the camera's so big, so the actors could actually see each other's faces, and because the camera would be in between them because it's so big on one of the actors' faces, and the other actor would be behind it acting with them. But so the other actor can actually see them in the scene. They had to set up a mirror so they could still see each other.
Yeah, I think I saw a photo of that. It was like Tom Holland and the Punisher. I'm freaking blanking his name, but yeah,
This is
that
John
is
Bernthal,
crazy that
bro.
the camera is like so loud.
Yeah, but
And I think it only has like 3 minutes of like film that they use, and then they're like, all right, we got to like reload it.
yeah, that's kind of crazy. I can't even imagine. They must have
Dude,
had like a quick way to do that because damn.
dude, they must have had thousands of like rolls
Oh
just to
my
like
god, yeah.
ready to reload it because that's insane.
Yeah. Well, let me see. What can we talk about in this film that isn't going deep into spoilers? I mean, it's hard. I do think there's stuff you can spoil in this. I was gonna say, can it be spoiled because the Odyssey is, of course, like one of the oldest stories like in the history of the Earth. So
Yeah, it's like 2,800 years old,
yeah, so
written written by Homer.
yeah, a lot of people
Mhm.
know the story, and whoever doesn't, I know there's gonna be like some like dickheads out there that are like, "Damn, bro, Nolan did it again, like original screenplay." And we're gonna be like, "Bro, like."
Chill out.
So, I mean, I has Nolan. I mean, I guess I was gonna say, has he done an adaptation before? And I guess Batman, but besides Batman, he's Batman. He's not really like directly like adapting a certain comic run. He's kind of like just doing his own thing with the characters.
Yeah, and even Oppenheimer, even though that's based on like
Hmm.
American Prometheus, like it's
Yeah, it
dramatized,
is.
you
Yeah,
know.
it is technically a an adaptation, I guess. But this one to me feels like a full on adaptation of the Odyssey. I mean, it's literally what
Yeah.
it is. But no, I do think there are things that can be spoiled in this.
Well, I know
I
one thing that can't be spoiled is you want to talk about the box offices right now.
Yeah, let's do it. Opening
I mean,
weekend is
let's name some
passed.
numbers.
Yeah, give me the numbers, Nick. Let me know, how did this do?
So right now, its domestic opening is $123.5 million.
Okay.
And then globally, it's already made 264 million, which is crazy.
Jeez.
And then it had a record Monday, which I guess is like a drop or a decline in like people like the box office. I guess. I
Hmm.
guess the hype is like the weekend, but
Oh
it had
yeah.
a record Monday, making 18 million, which is the best of the whole year.
Wow.
So it's
Okay.
already made its production budget back, which is 250 million. So now everything that it earns from here on out is just like money in the pocket, bro.
God. Okay. So I think this is gonna.
That's insane.
I think it's gonna have a good what's the word, like it's gonna have legs. It's gonna last. It's not gonna be much of a drop off weekend to weekend, especially this first weekend, just because I think it's a bit of a spectacle how people are trying to get the, as you were talking earlier, the IMAX 70 mil tickets because there's so many formats you could see this in. I
Hmm.
got to see it at our local theater, the Palladium. They're showing it in 70 mil, not IMAX 70 mil, just regular 70 mil. So I still got to see it on film, and I definitely could tell it was on film. I think in the beginning, the the projectionist had to make a couple adjustments, which is like, completely normal. It's like a 3 hour movie, so stuff can happen. He's supposed to be up there the whole time, making sure like it's like staying steady and locked in and lit correctly. And I think in the beginning, like first 20 minutes of the movie, it looked in very bright scenes, like scenes out on the beach or whatever, with like bright sky. I could notice on the bright areas like that the frames were kind of not skipping. Maybe it's like the projector was kind of shaky a bit, but like very slight. But he must have stabilized it at some point or fixed it or zeroed it in, whatever the issue was, because by like 40 minutes in, I didn't notice anything, and the rest of the movie like looked really good. There was a little bit of film grain here and there, which was like really cool to see, but like it's just looked like I don't know, man. It's just when you see a movie in digital, like it still looks good, but like this one just looked so there was so much depth into the film. Like it looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like modern movies nowadays, like it hit a certain point. Honestly, maybe even around the Transformers time, where it's like movies just look good, and now
Yeah.
it's like if you want to take it a step further, Nolan, does it on IMAX, does it on film, which is really cool. Because honestly, I feel like when movies were on film, if you look at like really old movies from the 40s and stuff, like maybe this is just me being nostalgic for a time I never lived in, but it's like, oh, that's cool, like how they filmed it like that or how it
Mhm.
looks, the aesthetic.
Well, what's interesting is like I this is honestly crazy to me when you think about it, but like film, like even movies from like the 40s and like as it's old like straight film reels from back then, as long as they're in relatively good condition, like they're not all messed up and they don't need restoration, if they have the original negatives, you can like really zoom in on like the film and really see so much detail that you can't see on like certain digital cameras from like I guess like the 90s, early 2000s. Like a lot of the movies in that time frame that use digital cameras, like for example, like the first 28 Days Later, that was filmed on a purposely on like a really shitty camera, shitty digital camera, which when you watch it, I feel like it kind of adds to it. Like I think it works in that film. But if you were to try and make that film get punched up to 4K, you're not going to be able to do it in the same way that you could with film. Because with film, it captured like if you want to compare it to pixels, it captured like a ton of pixels to where you can easily get 4K. But digital cameras don't do that, or like the old ones at least. So like they have a
Yeah.
limitation. So at that point, you're not really restoring something that's already there. You're kind of filling in the blanks, which is why some old stuff kind of looks a little weird.
Yeah,
But it's just
that's
crazy
crazy.
that film like has that it's such an old invention, but that's why we get like these old films like from the 50s, 60s, whenever, and they can still release them updated in 4K today because they're able to scan the original film. It's crazy that such a I don't know, like an old device is able to do so much even to this day.
Yeah, and now it's kind of become like how when I guess when manual cars were the thing, it's like, oh, like having an automatic is like the luxury, but now it's like I don't know, like having film is honestly better than just shooting on like a digital 4K camera.
Yeah.
So
I
it's kind of
will
like a luxury now, which is crazy.
I agree. Hey, well, enough about that. Let's get into the movie, Nick. Before we jump into spoilers, is there anything? I guess we can talk about like the overall like how what we thought of the film.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like the cast in this is done really pretty well. Like
Hmm.
when I first heard about it and like all the casting, I know a lot of people. I didn't personally feel this way, but they were saying it's kind of like I don't want to say whitewash, but like I don't know, like they didn't like use actual Greeks or people from
Hmm.
Greece, like time appropriate actors and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but honestly, I feel like this just being Christopher Nolan's adaptation of it, I don't really care that a lot of that stuff isn't honored that was in the original Odyssey. Like I want to see him adapt it. I want to see his ideas of like what sirens might look like and like cyclopses and all this like Greek mythology stuff. So me kind of just putting that on the table. Um, yeah, I thought the cast in this was done really well. I honestly bought everybody's performances, and Matt Damon's especially as like the lead of Odysseus was done really, really well. Um, and the score in this, which we'll talk about, I guess, in spoilers, but it isn't really spoilers. The score in this was crazy. It's the same guy
Yeah. Oh
that
my
did
god.
Tenet and Oppenheimer, Black Panther. He's done a lot of movies. Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah. Oh my
Um,
god.
But yeah, I remember seeing this on Thursday, and then like I looked up like on Spotify because I just wanted to listen to the music. And it wasn't it like there was a timer because it wasn't Friday, so it hadn't dropped yet. I was waiting to be like, yo, when the Lubeck album drop. But yeah, the music, the scale that which this was done, all the fantasy pieces that Nolan did really hit all the notes for me. And then the music, I feel like just made it. Honestly, the third act of this movie is I think what makes it perfect because like I feel like with some Nolan's movies, like I don't want to say they peak, but they're like peaks of like climax action and sequences. But I feel like the third act of this movie is probably like my favorite of all his movies. This movie rocks.
Mm,
I've seen it twice, and I'm gonna
man.
see it IMAX 70 mil
Oh
because I'm
shit.
a cinephile, bro.
I
But yeah,
think I agree with you. I think when we get into spoilers, we can talk a bit more specifically on some of the controversy with the film, which is I don't even know why there's controversy, but there's some people like you already mentioned about the whole Greek thing, but like I mean, bro, like this
Snyder
is
fans, bro.
the story the story itself is like it's not real. Like I don't know why some people think that this is based on a true story or something. Like this is a myth. It's just like all other Greek mythology tales. Like it's a story, you know, like for years and years and years that has changed. So like I mean there's literal like gods and mythological creatures and beings and like stuff in it. So like what the fuck do you mean like people are annoyed that somebody is a certain like race or like whatever in the film when it's like this is someone's adaptation and first and also like it's a myth, you know? Like there's no one knows what fucking Hades would look like anyway. Like it's because he's not
Yeah,
even a real thing, you know. So
yeah,
I don't understand the. There's some people on there that are calling the movie woke, and I'm like, bro, like I don't I don't know why people have like latched onto this film, and be like, all right, yeah, we're gonna act like we actually care that there's no Greek people in it, and like I'm sure there probably are some people in it. Like there's so many people in this film, but like the leads at least are a lot of well-known actors that aren't Greek. But regardless, I think the film is really good. I think it's a great adaptation. Uh, I think everyone has a great performance. I think Matt Damon probably gives his best performance potentially of his career, debatably. I think it's very good. I think everyone's really doing good. I've heard a lot of people shitting on Tom Holland saying that he's not good in it. Uh,
enough.
maybe maybe we can get a little bit more into that in spoilers, but I just to be like brief, I don't think I agree with that. I think he does fine in this. I think he's
No,
good. I don't
yeah,
think he's bad. Uh but yeah,
yeah.
I think my non-spoiler rating, oh man. I mean, you've seen this twice, so you've had a chance to see it. I've only seen it the one time Thursday. So I think as of now, I'm sitting at like a 9 out of 10, I believe. So
Eh,
if you haven't seen this and you're not wanting to get into spoilers, but you just wanted to hear a little bit about it, I would say 100% go see this if you can. I know it kind of sucks if the formats, if a lot of people want to see an IMAX 70 mil because you can see everything that was captured. You can see what it was actually shot on IMAX 70 mil film. So it kind of sucks if you don't have one of those near you, or uh, some of them are breaking down. Like the one in our local city, actually, we can
dude,
talk
don't
a bit
even
on that.
mention.
No,
Our
yeah,
city has no clout, bro.
yeah, it's crazy. We somehow they brought back the IMAX 70 mil from when they had it at Oppenheimer, and I went for like an
In the
opening.
last one.
Yeah, it's like 2, 3 years ago, I went for Oppenheimer. I had tickets to IMAX 70 mil, and the same thing happened. At least mine wasn't as bad because the movie didn't start yet. And then they came in and they said, hey, we're having issues like running the projector. So we're just going to show the movie in digital IMAX. And they said, we apologize. And they said they'd give us a refund or a voucher or something. So I basically saw the movie for free, but I was like, damn, like I really want to see it. So I didn't think they were going to bring it back here since they had issues with Oppenheimer, but I guess they did. And it's even worse this time because there have been people that were 40 minutes into this movie when the sound cut out and they were like, oh shit, like, hang on, like, our bad. and they just had to cancel the whole screening, and everyone had to leave after only watching the first 40 minutes, and they got a refund and a voucher and like free popcorn or something, like I don't know. But yeah,
Dude,
that happened and they
I
canceled the whole first week of screenings in IMAX 70
I don't normally crash out, bro, but if I
mil.
was there, bro, I could imagine actually like a diehard Nolan fan just freaking geeking out, bro.
I mean, yeah, man, I would be so pissed if that happened to me.
Dude.
But like what's crazy is for us, although it would still be annoying, at least we can just go home and sleep in our beds. There are some people that travel to see this movie. Like
Jeez.
there's people coming in from out of state or from like an hour or two drive away because they're like, I want to see this in IMAX 70 mil. And the closest one to me is the San Antonio location. It's just crazy that this happened. I currently have tickets for it. I really wanted to see an IMAX 70 mil, so I bought some tickets for the like in a week or so from now. Like some hopefully, I mean, well, I was gonna say hopefully the hype dies down, but I mean honestly, it's sold out like for like a month straight here. Basically, like you cannot get seats there. If they decide to extend it, then I maybe I can get better seats, but I still got decent seats. But people are gonna try and go. Hopefully, they have it up and running. I think today they're supposedly starting back up as of recording this. So we'll see if we hear anything, and maybe on the next episode we'll have an update on if they managed to fix their projection or not.
Dude, I hope so, bro.
But yeah, regardless, I think go see it in whatever format you want to. I don't think it matters too much. I mean, as long as you're seeing the movie, like that's all that matters. I would say if you can see it in IMAX, go for it. But if not, go see it in any way you can. I'd say this is 100% worth seeing in theaters. I would say if you miss this in theaters, you're gonna regret it whenever you watch it on streaming.
I agree. Bro, imagine watching it on a plane.
Oh my god, bro! Hey, the way Nolan intended.
With the headphones in, bro. One earbud.
God. Hey, so what are you rating it, Nick, before we drop into the spoiler section?
I've logged it twice on Letterboxd as 5 stars and it's movie of the year.
Oh my god. Okay, you're going in on
Hold
it.
on. Hold on.
I mean that's
I'm
fine.
coming
If
off
that's
like a
if that's
glazer.
what you think, bro, like that's fine. You don't got to switch it up. This isn't even our final say. We haven't even gotten into the nitty-gritty of the film. This is just our initial pre-spoiler review.
Okay, okay. Well, yeah, I love it. I think y'all should go see it. Do
Man.
not like honestly, I could see this coming back into theaters later in the year or next year. The way that I think Top Gun did. Like it's a
Mm.
game changer.
Hey yo.
But all right, I think that's it. We can get
All
into
right.
the I guess the quote unquote spoilers of the Odyssey.
All right, it's time.
It's time.
All right. Well, I think, man, should we just jump around to like talking about some of our favorite parts, or is there something specific you wanna get into?
I mean, we spoke about this in non-spoilers, but I guess the pacing can kind of help us like go through the
Mhm.
story because when I was listening to the soundtrack of this, like each song is kind of like in order of how everything happened, you
Mhm.
know, like
Yeah.
linear. But yeah, I feel like the pacing of this movie is really cool. It starts off with Travis Scott, who plays a bard, and I think he has like what, like 2 minutes of screen time. He's not even in the movie that much,
I think
but
he's in the first scene and like the last scene
yeah,
or
and then
one
the
of the
last,
last scenes. Yeah.
yeah, but I feel like Nolan's pacing and editing in this is like peak, bro. Like Oppenheimer, when I first watched it, I'm not gonna lie, like I felt like it jumped around a lot, but after watching it a second time, like I kind of appreciated the editing. And with this one, it's like the Trojan War is already done. It's like Tom Holland's perspective of all these like suitors and stuff taking up his dad's place to try to win over Penelope's hand, and then the scene transitions from like Tom Holland's character. What is it, Telemachus? It's from Telemachus to Odysseus. He's like, man, I wonder where my dad is, and then like we cut to Odysseus's perspective. Like I feel like the pacing of this was done really, really well. Because
I
it's pretty
agree.
much the present time, which is Odysseus, and then I guess like the future, like they're kind of happening side by side. But yeah, I just really enjoyed that aspect of
Yeah.
it. Like it made the movie kind of flow really, really well. And I feel like the second time I kind of noticed, I was like, okay, like this is how all the acts are broken up.
Oh yeah, I think I noticed that immediately because I was going into this, I wasn't sure how he was gonna do it. I guess in hindsight, it seems like, oh yeah, you would probably do it like that. But I was wondering if he was just gonna go, literally like make it, this at the start of it, it's Odysseus like heading out on his for the Trojan War, and then it all happens and he comes home. But it actually, I think it adds more tension and it's more dramatic, and it's like you said, the pacing is better starting it at a point in time where Odysseus has been gone for like 20 years and it's right before his return, and it's you kind of see what has become of his home, and then you also see what has happened through flashback, and it's not just like random flashbacks. Like he'll Tom Holland's character, I forget his name. What'd you say it was? Telemachus?
Telemachus. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll like travel and go talk to John Bernthal's character, who he was in the Trojan War and fought with Odysseus, and he'll tell him a story, and then that story will turn into like his perspective of the war, and we'll see
Yeah.
flashbacks like that, of scenes we already saw, and it adds more context. And I like how all of the flashbacks feel like they're naturally occurring throughout the story, and they actually do. There's like a climactic moment in this, which I think has probably the biggest, what you could call a spoiler or reveal in this, um, which is only achieved by going like by the film going back and forth between the past and the present, um, and that is the scene towards the end of the film, where they're at they've breached the walls of Troy, and they're in there, and we see Odysseus and his men behead a lady, and the lady is what's her name? Zendaya, who plays Athena. And you
Yeah.
basically find out that because throughout the film you see Athena appear to him and they have conversations, and he sees her, only he sees her. And up until that point, I thought it was because Penelope, his wife, gave him like an Athena pin before he left, but it might be because of that too, but it's also just because they murdered like an innocent woman while breaching the walls of Troy. And either that was Athena, because there's a big theme in this film about you never know if a god could be the beggar in front of you, so treat everybody, like the golden rule, Zeus's law is what they
Yeah.
call it in
Zeus is
this.
alive.
So like I like how that kind of comes back into play, and they're like, oh, like was this actually Athena, and they beheaded her, and now she's kind of haunting him in a way, or is that the just Athena just choosing to take the form of this woman that he
I think it
killed,
was like
you
a
know?
priestess or someone that was like
Yeah.
residing over her statue.
Yeah, it's something like that, and so I like that Athena's taking the form of her, or maybe it was Athena in disguise. They don't really tell you, it's really left open to the audience's interpretation, but I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest reveal that happens, and when that happened, I was kinda like, "Oh, shit," like, that kinda adds a whole new perspective to a lot of the other scenes, and, like, Odysseus's whole journey, and it, like, has, like, weight to it. And I think that the pace, not only does the editing help the pacing, but it really helps there be a huge climactic reveal in a film that is about a story that's thousands of years old.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, and I mean, just speaking about the changes of perspective, like around that time, like in ancient Greece, they really had no way of like communicating with each other, and things would take years, whether you sail across the sea to another country or like fight a war. And so like hearing people's like perspective and retelling of like, oh, like this is John Bernthal retelling the story of the Trojan horse, and how he like
Mhm.
spent days in there with Odysseus, and they breached the wall of Troy after leaving just the horse there as like a peace offering. And then when we hear Odysseus's perspective of what they did in Troy, like it's totally different. Like he saw them
Yeah.
like slaughtering people and like pillaging, and it's like, damn, like John Berthal's character was like explaining it. Like that scene was epic when they were trying
Oh
to open the
yeah.
gates and stuff. Like, bro, I was getting hype like Sugriva, but yeah, that whole sequence is like retold from his perspective. It was like this epic fight, and like they won the war, but then you see like, oh no, we're the people from the sea, because after the wars ended, there's like people thinking, oh, like societies in Greece is falling apart because people aren't honoring Zeus's law. Like they're
Mhm.
just people are scared of these ships that come from the ocean and just like pillage, and it turns out to have been Odysseus and his men. So it
Yeah.
changes from him being like super honorable and like a really brilliant general before he left, and now he's kind of like changed after like, I mean, how long were they at war? Like 9 or 10 years?
I think they it was about 9 years, and I think, or maybe 12 years. I think. Are they? No, wait, no. I think it was nine, and then they tried getting home, but they had a lot of issues getting home because they kept running into just the bad shit on different islands, and it didn't work out, and then they felt like they had defied the gods, and that's why the gods weren't helping them get home. And then I think by that point it took them like 9 years or 7 to 9 years to get home. So the war actually had ended like years ago, but the trek home on its own was a whole other story.
Yeah, it had to have been like at least 17 years because Telemachus is a baby when he leaves. So if he's like becoming of age by the time, I guess, the present timeline's being told, like he has to be like almost 18.
Well, the total thing, I think they've said it's 20, it's 20 years. The Trojan
Yeah.
War, or like how long Odysseus is gone, is 20 years, but I think the war ends in like 12 or 13, because there's at one point where Odysseus finally like remembers, because he's been on this island with Calypso, and she reveals that he's been there for 7 years with her, and he's just been just sitting there like dazed and confused for 7 years when he before he finally breaks out of her spell.
Jeez.
God, bro, 7 years where he was just chilling there, bro.
Dude, I wouldn't have left.
Hey, what did you think of the big thing everyone is talking about? Well, there's a lot of things we were talking about. But
Yeah.
one huge scene, they had that Cyclops, bro. What you think of the
Bro, he was chill.
Cyclops? You liked
Dude,
him?
I won't lie. When I saw that the first time, I was scared as shit, bro. Like I actually was like holding my breath because they're just chilling in the cave, and I was like, oh, he's probably gonna be in there. But then like he comes and closes the door, and it's
Oh
like
my
all
god,
dark,
yeah.
and all they have is like the firelight. And then the dude like starts eating some of his men. Like, oh my gosh, honestly was surprised they chose. It looks like the design is like he's deformed. Like he doesn't just have one eye. Like his nose is like crooked, and his
Hmm.
eyes are like he's missing an eye, and then he just has like a flipped eye. I guess like I don't know how to describe it. Just like really deformed.
I
But
I like it because I feel like if you look at a lot across any sort of movies or TV shows, like for one-eyed Cyclops-esque characters, it just always looks so weird. And I think it's just because like what creatures, animals, mammals, anything do we have in the real world that has just one big eye? Like there's none. Like we don't have a single thing. So to us, that just is always going to look uncanny. So I think that that was going to be a big challenge, because it looks better in like drawings and animation, but like live action Cyclopses, they just always look kind of weird, like it's in the eye area. But I think this one looked really good because of how it was done, how they took like the deformed esque route, how it looks all like the skin looks like smooth. It doesn't look all hairy. It doesn't look like a monster. It looks like I, I don't know. Like when I say monster, it doesn't look like a hulking beast. It looks like this, just like a giant smooth arms and like just weird looking like face. I don't know, bro. I think it looked very. I liked the depiction a lot. I think it's a different take on it, and I think it's even cooler that they created like a 10-foot tall puppet, like to film this practically before they.
yeah,
I'm sure they did others. I'm sure they had some sort of digital like VFX added onto the puppet, or they had like a stand-in, like where they superimposed him in it. I don't know. I would love to see some behind the scenes on every step of making that thing look how it looked, because it looks really great. It looks like really cool. That scene is crazy.
yeah, I feel like the puppet that they used like added to the like already the advantage of it being like in a dark cave. But yeah, that was an insane sequence, honestly. And honestly, for the first one, like I feel like the loudest part of the movie either has to be like when they're rowing through the ocean and their boat gets like broken apart, or when
Oh
the
yeah.
Cyclops screams, because my whole theater
Yeah.
like erupted, bro. Like they poke its eye out with the like a burnt end of a log, and oh gosh, bro,
Dude, yeah, the Cyclops, like
that
the
shit was
sound
loud.
it makes is crazy.
Gosh,
All right, what'd you think of? Let me see. What else happened in this film? Hey, what'd you think
we
of
can go island by island, bro.
oh yeah, Island by Island. Hey, did you like the island where they have like the like huge giant people?
Oh no, that shit was scary as hell, bro. Actually, I felt see now that I've seen it a second time, and I'm like, damn, a lot of Odysseus's men are like kind of like pigs and like pillagers and
Mhm.
like breakers of Zeus's law. It's like this is definitely a punishment from the god, bro. Like
Oh
every
yeah.
every every island they went to, like he would lose men, but that one had to be the worst, bro. He lost like two of his boats, and those dudes were like big as shit. I don't even know how to. Yeah, I'd be dead.
Yeah, I think I mean the whole story of like the Odyssey is kind of like the mistakes of man, you know, like the whole thing is basically about that. And
Yeah.
speaking on those like the giant men or whatever they are in the armor, that scene, I actually wish it went on a little longer. I wish they spent a little bit more time on there because like it's kind of, I guess it makes more sense to they would just immediately dip because like that's what happens as soon as they start getting pulled up on by these giants in armor. They're just like, all right, we gotta get the fuck out of here, and they just bolt for the for their boats, bro. But what's really cool is I thought for that scene, surely it must be some sort of like Lord of the Rings like forced perspective stuff to get that look. But it turns out they actually what they did is they got 7 foot tall like men to play these giant soldiers, and then all of Odysseus's men, or even Odysseus himself, they hired women who are like 5 foot and like just jacked, so that because all that you can see is their arms in terms of skin.
What the
No,
fuck?
yeah, they did. So actually, like on the poster, like the one poster where it's Odysseus looking up at them, that's actually his like his stunt, Matt Damon's stunt actor, who's a woman, and she's just like got jacked arms, and they got a ton of women to play the soldiers so that these giants look even like bigger, and they did it practically that way, which it's such a an easy answer, and you don't notice it at all in the film, but it looks so good.
Dude, that's smart. Yeah, because they have their helmets on and stuff the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can't even tell, like, and as long as they don't show their face, so, you know, it's really smart filmmaking. It's so simple, but it's, like, so effective.
Yeah. No, honestly, I thought that I do wish they spent time around that island a bit more. And I think after they leave, they end up just going down a little bit more down the coast,
Mhm. Oh, yeah, they
to
do, yeah.
Cersei's island. But yeah, that island was honestly scary as hell too. And like I said, I felt bad the first time seeing it because I'm like, damn, like they just want to go home. Odysseus is losing his men. But I'm like, bro, they kind of all deserve it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, then this next island with Cersei, this like when I thought there was horror elements in this movie from Nolan, like I feel like when they go to the witches island, it ramps up like insane.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like at this point, Odysseus is kind of like I guess being mutiny. He's experiencing mutiny. Like his crew's kind of like, yeah, we're not going to listen to you anymore.
Oh, yeah,
And
because
there's this scene.
they think that he's, like, upset Poseidon, and that the
Oh
gods
yeah,
are against them now, so they're like, "Alright, bro, like, you done."
like yeah, we're not going to listen. But there's a scene with this where his men get turned into pigs from this witch, and dude, that scene was insane. Like I think they used like animatronics and like physical like I guess props of like pigs. But you can see her like putting her hands to them and like transforming their faces and stuff. And I feel like the way they used the camera to like kind of put it out of our peripheral, but still kind of flash to it was really visceral. Like it was surreal to see that.
Yeah,
I felt like that
it's
was a cool representation, I guess, of like witchcraft and stuff.
yeah, like I was wondering how they did it like when I was watching it because it's like she's physically grabbing their faces and morphing them into like a look that she wants, which oh my god, it's like so it works so well. So I think you're right. I think they did use like animatronics and maybe I don't know, like some sort of like practical like clay or something that they can like mold it and it doesn't like lose too much form but can change shape. I don't know. But it looked really freaky and since then I you've probably seen it. Christopher Nolan has put out some quotes saying that after making the Odyssey, now he has like more interest than he ever has had in making a horror film, but he says he would need to like come up with a really good idea, but he has like the interest now after I guess toying with those horror elements in the Odyssey.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like when I first saw it, I was like, I wasn't sure how to feel about it because with Oppenheimer, like it is very different from a lot of his other work, Oppenheimer. And so seeing like kind of a biopic unfold, I wasn't sure if I liked it. But
Mhm.
now, of course, I think it's like really bold and creative to see him try something new. So with like seeing the horror elements in the Odyssey and kind of like the scale at which he shoots these movies, I feel like it was cool to see him like go into some new territory and see like how he would do it. I feel like it really works.
I agree. Let me
After
see.
this, dude, oh, we got to talk about when they go to Hades after this,
That was probably my
dude.
second favorite scene. I thought that
Dude,
was
that's
just
the
so
coolest
sick.
sequence ever, dude. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh, dude. It's just I
Like,
I I didn't know how they were gonna do it because took a Greek mythology class like 2 years ago, and we studied the Odyssey, and I think we studied it in high school too for an English
mm,
class, but I
the
don't
expert.
remember. Hey, I low-key had forgotten some stuff though, but I did remember certain things. Like when something would happen in the movie, I would be like, I'd be like Leonardo DiCaprio, like, oh, like, oh, there we go. And I because like it would remind me, and I'd be like, "Oh wait, yeah." Like I remembered about how there was gonna be a part because I think Cersei tells him like the future a bit, and she's like, "Oh, like, well, you're gonna have to go like through the God Sea, and your men are gonna die because if you get when they go here, they're gonna slaughter the herd of who is it?
Apollo, the sun god.
Apollo, yeah." And then he's just like, "Oh, I'll make sure they don't do that." And he's like, "Oh, and you're gonna have to drive, go past the sirens, and then like a whirlpool, and like you're gonna have to go to hell itself and talk to Hades." And I was just like so fascinated because once that started being was said, I just remembered all of that, and I was like, "Oh my god, they're actually gonna do that!" And I was just so excited to see how Nolan films like hell, and I feel like it's so crazy. They're in this setting and there's like actual behind the scenes footage of this where they're just like in some outdoor landscape with like black sands or black
I think it's
dirts.
Iceland. It's
Yeah,
like the volcanic sands of Iceland.
okay, yeah, that makes sense because I went to Iceland earlier this year and I was like, dude, it looks just like that. But I didn't go to like a big empty field like that. I don't know where that was. They must have gone deep inland into Iceland, like into like the parts where no one lives, because that it just looked so surreal, like something you can't see. It did look like it could be hell, you know, and then seeing all these people crawl out of the old soldiers crawl up, like I think we see Agamemnon pulls up and warns
Mm.
him and tells him what happened when he got home. And I forget the character's name that Elliot Page plays.
Oh, Sinon.
Sinon, they come back and you have them talk to him. They have like another warning, and he says like, "Oh, when you go back to Robert Pattinson." Oh yeah, there's like that's such a good little interaction, like Sinon and Robert Pattinson, like their character dynamic, like cuz at first you think Robert Pattinson's I guess like on the good side, but then you realize he's just like a loser. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit's so good. I love that, bro.
He was trying to dunk the draft or something.
Yeah, yeah, that's literally what he did. Like he keeps telling everybody that he like begged Odysseus to like let him go in the place of Sinon, but it was really the opposite. Like he was like, "Oh fuck," and like Sinon was like, "Oh, I'll do it."
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, so
Yo,
insane,
Loki,
bro.
Sinon's such a kind of a goated character, bro. Even though like Odysseus lied to him,
Oh
like
my god, yeah.
he had to die believing that like, oh, like I'm giving this peace offering. Oh, that was crazy. But
Yeah, like I would be pissed too. Imagine like you're dead and then the dude who told you this like pulls up and like, "Hey, my bad, bro, but like, yo, give me some intel." Oh,
Yeah,
dude, I
make it
want to see
work.
this movie again now, bro. Like
Oh,
I
thank
no,
you.
he did say that. I think he was like, "Oh, but it works." I think he did say
It
that
worked
to him.
though.
He basically did. He was like, "Wait, but like, look what we did though."
Appreciate you, homie.
Yo, what'd you think of Agamemnon? Because he's just like aura farming the whole movie.
Dude, he has like 5 minutes of screen time. Like I know
Yeah,
people are like using like videos of him a bunch in like TikTok edits, but I looked it up. He has like 4.5 minutes of screen time.
yeah, he's literally just there to aura farm, bro.
Yeah, he's there in Troy. He's there when he calls Ulysses to war. Bro, he is ore farming though. Like
Yeah, I don't
I
think he
can't
has.
believe
He
he
has. Oh, he
played.
only has lines at in the Hades, I think, or like
Yeah, he doesn't
brief
speak until
lines.
Hades. Yeah,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, I feel like they put him in like big ass armor, and if I just stood there, I would look aura cool.
Yeah, he looks like they it looks like they just made him like basically Darth Vader. Like he just pulls up, like especially in the Troy scene when they finally open those gates and then you just see
Dude,
him standing there and then he just like pulls up. Like that shit is just fucking aura, bro. That shit is so crazy.
I mean, hearing John Bernthal's like retelling of the whole like Trojan horse scene is cool, and like they're brothers,
Mhm.
but yeah, just seeing the doors open and stuff, that was such a tense scene, dude. And then the doors open and then like it's quiet for like 3 seconds. Bro, aura.
supposedly supposedly when they
Aura
filmed that
Memnon.
scene when they filmed that scene Christopher Nolan didn't tell Matt Damon that they had like I think they said they had like 250 or 500 extras just outside the gates and they actually like opened them and he said he did not tell Matt Damon so that he would just get surprised when all these people just run in after they open the gates so he didn't know that was going to happen apparently.
Dude, that's crazy. Honestly, one of my favorite like I guess quick shots from this movie is when they drop the lamp over the wall and you just see
Oh
like
my god, yeah.
they crash on the ground and there's hundreds of soldiers pulling their swords out. Like I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, that's a cool ass shot.
I love that.
God, dude, I gotta see this again because like I saw it the one time. I know I got tickets in like a week about to go see it again, but like low key, I might have to like catch another show before then, bro. I don't know.
Dude,
Like we'll
how
see.
did you how did you like how they showed the what is it called, the Cherubis or the Carabus?
What's that?
The
Remind me.
it's like the well, in Greek mythology it's normally like a big like sea snake or like a monster that eats up ships, but
Oh yeah.
it could also be like a whirlpool, which is what he represented as in this.
So yeah, that's that section. I think that was 100% CGI. I think the whirlpool looked good, but the like monster thing like after that like grabbed some of them. I think if you can pick out anything in the film that looks visually the least, I guess, real, it's probably that just because it looks like your typical uh monster thing. Like it just looks like a gray worm kind of grabbing and pulling things away.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I mean, like it looks fine to me. I'm sure all the people were shot on wires. That's how they got them flying off, and they just added in the snake later on. But no, yeah, I thought that was fine. I did like how Odysseus, like afterwards, the guy was like, "Oh, like you knew that they were gonna be here," and he's just like, "Hey, I try to tell y'all to go the other way," and he's just like, "But you like y'all made this decision yourself." So it's just like, oh man, like it's good film, bro. Oh my god, I'm like almost at a loss for words, like talking about it, bro.
Dude, we could make a 3 hour review like
We
Oppenheimer.
really could. I mean, we're already like 50 minutes into the episode, and like I feel like we barely scratched the surface.
Well, I agree with you. I feel like the weakest, even if there's a weak part of the film, like I thought the design of the, like what was it, the Skyla or the Scylla, something like
Whatever
that.
that snake thing is.
Yeah, that snake monster. I feel like it was fine.
Yeah, it just looks okay.
Yeah, it's I he chill.
Uh
I did think the sirens scene was really interesting though. Uh,
oh yeah.
like at this point, Odysseus has like probably like 50 or 60 dudes left. Like there's just one ship, and he wants to be the first person to hear like the siren song. And I know in really old adaptations or probably the most true adaptations of the Odyssey, sirens have been like women with like wings that kind of like
Hmm.
fly and like they can also be shown as like mermaids because they represent like temptation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In this one, Nolan made them, I guess, mermaids. So they look like they're just nude chicks. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
Like,
they're so far away you can barely even see them though. We don't
yeah,
really
I
we
feel
don't.
like the less is more is
Oh
better,
yeah,
honestly.
I
Like,
agree. Yeah,
they what he did is he had like stunt women like swim to that little rock and they were just waiting on that and they had to like pass by him to film it a couple times. But when you see it in the movie, they're kind of like hidden by mist and they're kind of just like chilling on the rock like sunbathing.
they vibing,
Um
bro.
bro, they're chilling. And then Nolan decided to just we actually don't hear a song. Like a lot of it, all of his men put waxes in their ears and you can hear like the sound dampen like we were also wearing the wax and stuff. And then you just see Matt Damon like screaming. I feel like that was pretty powerful to kind of just leave it up to our imagination of like, oh, this is like what the song is. Like afterwards, he's describing what it was. I guess kind of, I don't know, like pure agony, I guess.
Yeah, like he was saying, it's like he feels like it was like everything, every mistake he'd ever done, or something like that. Everything he can never, something like that. I don't remember the quote,
Yeah. He said
but
like it told him like he didn't want to go home and
mhm.
like all the stuff he had, um, all that he could ever desire is like what he's already had and now he can't have it anymore.
Yeah, and
Something in those lines.
yeah, I really love the audio design in that. Like you said, how it like dampens, like as if we can't hear anything either. And then there's of course this one of his soldiers. He's like, man, I gotta hear it, and he like fucking takes out, and then he just jumps off the boat and starts swimming over there, bro. Like he was just like, oh shit, hold up.
Dude, I saw someone on TikTok. I will say one thing I hate about this like time we live in is I've seen so many people record scenes of the Odyssey or just movies in general on their phone on TikTok.
Mhm.
But also I kind of want to like rewatch that scene somehow. But
Yeah.
someone like commented on TikTok, they're like, "Why homie take his AirPod out?" Like, what the
Dude, yeah, for real.
god? But yeah, I thought that scene was done really well too. Like the less is more, seeing them from like far away as like if we're on the ship.
I agree.
Um, I feel like that was a really powerful moment.
What'd you think of Tom Holland's performance? Because people have been saying he's getting dogged on by other people in this movie. What's your thoughts?
I'm of age, mother. Mother. I thought he was good, honestly. I feel like I said, when I got the casting for this, I really couldn't see all these like big name actors like Spider-Man, Zendaya, and Hathaway, Matt Damon, like
Mhm.
in these roles. But I feel like he plays a pretty good like prince, right? By the end of the movie, he gets what he wants and he finally is on the throne. We see him kind of trying to stand up. Like only him, maybe not Penelope, Euryculus. I don't know, the blind guy, the caretaker, are like the only three people that think Odysseus is like coming home. But I feel
Oh yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
feel like Tom Holland's performance is good. Like he plays like he said this is the last chance he would ever play like a young like boy or like a young man role because he's like pushing 30. Uh,
I think he is
he
30.
doesn't really look like it in this. Like they give him like the long hair. He's already kind of like 5'8", like 5'7". I don't know.
I think he looks like he's about 20 in this. Like I would buy that he's 20, 21,
Yeah,
22. I would buy it.
yeah,
But he no, yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people are just finding anything to shit on, and I think he's easy to shit on because I think his character, I don't think they're meant like his dad Odysseus. They make him like a badass, like especially in like the final
yeah.
scene. But I think his son is not that at all. Especially like it's like in the last scene, like I think Odysseus takes on like 40 people, like 1 on 40, and Tom Holland during the whole time is fighting one guy, and he like barely gets him by the end of it.
Yeah.
So he's definitely. I think people are maybe saying these things because his character is not a pushover, but he's also not, he doesn't have the same aura, you know what I mean? I think that's intentional. I think he's supposed to seem like not like almost like a stuck up like prince would be, but like kind of arrogant, but also like he doesn't have the skills yet, like that sort of thing. And I think he captures that kind of performance. But since that performance, like, is kind of roastable, in comparison, like
Shut
not,
up.
no, you get what I'm
Kind of
saying though.
roastable.
No, like the lot of that he's doing he's acting like somebody who's easily like roastable, but the performance itself is good because people are reacting in the way that you would. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. Hey, so I think he
Yeah,
was fine.
I thought he was fine as well.
Zendaya is also barely in this. Like she's Athena and she's in it for maybe 5 minutes the whole movie.
Yeah, a lot of these big name actors, like I don't know. I feel like everyone like fills the screen time that they have well. That's like required of
I
them.
agree.
Like
I agree.
honestly, mostly I wanted to see in this movie was just Odysseus like getting home, like all the
Yeah.
different trials and stuff he went through. But I feel like the third act of this movie, bro, is probably it might be the best of all of Nolan's movies, like up there with Interstellar.
You're definitely
But
right.
so many good payoffs in the end. Like we get
Yeah.
Odysseus coming back. Um, they do the whole trial of him like trying to string the bow. Before that part, before the like Penelope choosing a suitor, we have like this confessional where he's like telling her like, "Oh, this I know you've heard stories of the war, but like he comes in disguise, right? Like because
Yeah.
Agamemnon told him to like yo, when you come home, kind of chill out. Like I got
Hmm.
murdered, which was kind of deserved. Uh,
Yeah,
but
Agamemnon was on some bullshit, bro. Like, although he had aura, like, motherfucker, like, sacrificed his daughter, bro.
hey, that's why they won the war, bro.
That's also what he did.
Facts. But the whole scene before the trial, the bow or whatever you want to call it, where Odysseus is finally talking to Penelope and he's still kind of in disguise. And he like does this confessional of like, yo, you've heard stories, but like this is actually what happened in Troy. Um, like Odysseus and his men are like the people that have been like tearing apart our society. Like we're the people from the sea that are dishonoring the law. Um, and he's like, man, like I don't even know if I wanted to come home because maybe there isn't something to come back to if I've broken the law. And
Yeah.
I feel like that reveal of them kind of being like the bad guys, and then like you said, Zendaya's character, I guess, is some representation of like his guilt and Athena kind of taunting him, maybe.
Yeah.
Like the whole movie, after every island they go to, some of his men die. Like Zendaya's just there, like, bruh. Like she kind of. At first, I was like, "Damn, why is she being so mean?" Like,
Well, it
but then
makes
you realize,
sense.
like, yeah,
Yeah, and I think Greek gods are notoriously like assholes. Like if when you actually get into Greek mythology, there's not many gods that are all good. Most of them are low-key kind of fucked up or like kind of
uh,
arrogant. Yeah, they're
yeah.
all
Some of
but
them eat their children. Like some, like
yeah.
it's crazy what the gods do.
So like Athena, she's, kind of similar. Like I would say she's one of the nicer ones in her stories, but she's still on her own, like has so like it kind of works because like you're like, but even as like if you didn't know that and you just this was your first time seeing Athena, you do kind of get the sense that like, oh, like why is she being rude? Like, oh, maybe and you kind of assume, and then when you get to the end, there's the payoff because you can just see in Zendaya's quick performances here and there, like something must have happened or during this war or like whatever, and then I think it's a nice payoff. That scene is really good. Might be the
Yeah, I
best scene in the
agree,
movie. I don't know,
bro.
there's a lot of good
Probably.
scenes.
I mean, I feel like after I'd come home after the first watch and I was listening to the soundtrack,
Hmm.
like yeah, I don't know, it just hit a lot harder, like because I could hear it. Like when you're watching the movie the second time, you kind of know, like, all right, this is what's happening. You can kind of
Yeah.
slow down and appreciate it more. So maybe that's why I feel like the pacing hit even harder on the second
Mm.
rewatch.
Yeah, I'll have to see if that happens to me. I do think that there's I feel like this happens in a lot of Nolan movies, at least the ones that are long. Like maybe, I guess maybe Oppenheimer because that was the most recent one. I'll use that as an example. But there are times where I don't doubt Nolan, but there are just times where I'm like, oh, this feels like a good spot to end the movie. Like it feels like it's about to end. But then there's just a ton more left actually. And it actually ends up being worth it. Like I for a bit, think, oh, like is Nolan pushing it too far? But the payoff is so worth it. Like that third act, it just keeps going. And like you said, it's one of the best that Nolan's done. It's really good.
Yeah, actually, and to give him to this credit, I feel like the fight scenes in this movie have been like probably the best he's ever choreographed. I know I spoke
Mhm.
before we started this review, like sometimes I feel like the combat and like the Dark Knight Rises especially, or maybe even the whole trilogy. I don't know. I'm sorry.
You're
It's my
definitely
opinion.
right.
I feel like he really nailed the fight choreography because of course we have super big wide shots of like troops storming Troy, and then in this third act, it's more of like a close quarters, like dark, like torch lit setting. But we get really good scenes of like him fighting, shooting people with bows. We get like long takes of him flipping people around and stuff like that. It's all really easy to see.
Mhm.
Um, and actually, on this second rewatch, I sat like I didn't see it in IMAX, but I saw it at the Regal RPX theater, which is like bigger
Oh
than your
yeah.
standard screen. And I sat like in the fourth row, but I was the only one in the fourth row, and I was kind of like,
Gah.
it almost was like the meme of like Oppenheimer's face. He's like Giga Chad, and I was like, damn, should I move back, bro? But I was like, no, like this is actually kind of perfect. Like it almost feels like IMAX.
Yeah.
But even sitting that close, like a lot of this fight scenes, or even just really big wide scenes, like I could take in all the beauty of it. Like I can understand it. It wasn't like bad editing at all. So I feel like the fighting was really cool for the final act.
Yeah. Have you seen how Letterboxd has this thing where you can click on what formats you've seen the movie in, and there's like one for IMAX 70 mil, there's one for IMAX, there's one for 35 mil, 70 mil, and like just I think Dolby Vision or something like that, and then just standard or large. Oh no, large screen format, so something like RPX.
Oh,
Have you
that's cool.
have you noticed that if you go to
Hold on.
go
Hold
to
on, I'm
the
on
go
Letterboxd
yeah,
right
go to
now,
the
bro.
Odyssey, and then it should be like right there, like underneath your rating for it. It's a pretty cool feature. I think it's like only for that film.
Large format.
Like it'll say
I guess I've seen it in large format. That's probably
yeah, yeah,
the
because that's RPX, large format.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
pretty cool. It says an Odyssey of formats, track every way you've seen the Odyssey, and then you click on it and you can just tap in the center, and it has a different little symbol for each of them. If you can
Oh, this
tap,
is cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like it's cool. And then whenever you come back here, like you can just flex it and be like, yeah, I've seen it in this. So
Show it to some chick. Yo, I'm gonna put this in the description actually. If y'all want to check this out, like there'll be a link to it. Make a letterbox account.
yeah, go check it out. It's
Yo, this
pretty
is cool.
cool. And yeah, you follow us while you're there. We'll follow y'all back.
Yo, facts.
But yeah, I got to do this because I still haven't posted my review actually. I've been recently
I was
very
waiting for
bad.
it. I see it on your like want to watch list, and I was like, damn, motherfucker, I want to hear the thoughts. Like I actually
Yeah.
wrote a review. I could read it
Oh
before we get to
yeah.
the end of it. But
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, yeah, that's right, because we're reviewing this before I've even posted of my letterbox review. It's because like, I
oh
don't know,
yeah.
bro. Like I've been like a lot of times I like to like sit and think about it for a bit, gather my thoughts, and not just post it while I'm still seated in the theater. Cause I know there are times when like just your initial reaction, of course, you're gonna be excited. You I feel like you're more
It's
preferable
like
at
getting off
that
a roller
point.
coaster, like
Yeah,
your
yeah,
adrenaline.
exactly. And then like as time goes on and you kind of talk about it and think about it more, you might find things that you're like, oh, actually, I don't know if I like that. Like I prefer if this would have happened, or I felt like this performance was bad, or like, whatever. Um, but I'm still pretty high on the Odyssey. I gotta post it. I most recently posted the Invite is a movie I saw recently, and I gotta post
Oh
post.
shit.
I saw that was good. Then I gotta post my review for Toy Story 5. I watched that, and then
Oh
I
my god.
watched the Odyssey. So I'm behind two reviews technically.
I mean, honestly, I feel like that is kind of smart though to take your time writing your reviews because like sometimes I'll see a movie and give like a clever one word review, but then like I don't know if I actually sit down and like write a review, bro. Like that's some critic shit. Like we're
That's what I'm
critics.
saying, bro.
That's crazy.
Let me
Hey,
see
bro,
what else. Oh,
hurry up with the review.
hey, it'll be posted probably today, honestly. Hey, but did you
I hope.
see that Robert Pattinson's like delivery of one line is like become a meme?
Dude, he's like I don't know what it is. He's got like that's like Adam Sandler energy where it's like I like him enough to like any role he plays where he's like a bad guy, a good guy, or like a conflicted character. I'm like, yo, I like him. I don't know. Like in this, his name's Antinius, right? He's
I think
Elliot Page's
so.
brother in this. And yeah, like you said before, like he kind of was like a draft dodger. He pretty much just wants to take Penelope for himself.
Are you trying to
Uh,
hit?
but yeah, what does he say? He's
He
like,
says, "Can somebody get these beggars out of here?"
bro, 100% accuracy, bro. Literally, that honestly, when I saw it the second time, I kind of cracked up because the first time I was just like experiencing the movie, but like now it's kind of like a chicken jockey moment.
It
Like
low key is now because
it's a chicken
everybody's
jockey.
spamming it. Yeah.
God.
Like I saw one meme where you know how they have the AMC like A list thing?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I saw someone who they're like, because AMC A list, they have like a line
yeah.
for concessions that's only for
The
the A
flex.
list members, and they were like, oh, like this how I be looking at the people in the regular line when I'm going through A list, and it's just the clip of them like, someone get these beggars out of here. Like it's just people posting it like with all these different contexts, bro.
God, dude, I love it.
It's definitely gonna be. I actually, when I see it again, I'm low key like wondering how many people are gonna be rewatching it and are gonna. I don't know if they'll say it with him like a chicken jockey thing, but maybe the people will laugh or like react in some sort of way. We'll see.
Chicken jockey.
Because yeah, when I saw it the first time, I did notice his it's just like I guess the way he says beggars, like he just says it like so hard and like you know, um, I thought it was like I don't know, I noticed it, but I didn't think it was like funny in the moment. It's only afterwards thinking about it that I'm like, wait, yeah, it is kind of funny within these different contexts.
Yeah, God. And that what else did they say? Plate liquor.
Yeah, oh my god.
God. Yeah, honestly, seeing all them like get like Odysseus mops the floor with them, bro. Like he kills them all. Like you said at one point it's like 40, 50 people like just versus him and he's like shooting his bow. Oh, also first before like the fight even starts, he does the challenge, right? I like how they set up the axes because it looks different in so many adaptations. Like sometimes they hang the axes, sometimes it's like one axe and you have to like shoot the arrow through 12, but
Oh yeah.
Odysseus brings the bow. He does the pluck, which was a cool touch because in the movie, like before I guess he goes to war, he would do that as like a honorable way of hunting. Um and that was kind of cool to see. But
Yeah,
yeah, the
he's the
fight
only
scene was
one that
so
can do
epic,
it, bro.
bro.
Yeah, I remember that from the myth, when I read the Odyssey, how Penelope, I don't remember if in the story she's like, 'cause in this one they play it like she has no idea if he's ever gonna be back, but she just says like, "Oh, I want, someone to do this," because she knows that only Odysseus can do it. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't think she actually knew he was there until it happened. Like I think even she turns her back and she's like, "Oh damn, like motherfucker ain't here." But I think I can't remember if in the original story if she knew or like suspected and that's why she said it. I can't remember. There's probably a version where that happens because there's so many versions of this old ass story, different tellings and translations and all that. But regardless, like that was a really cool scene to see. I love how Robert Pattinson's character is just like I said, he's just like a pussy, bro. He's like a snob.
Bangers.
Yeah. Cause like at one point, I think Tom Holland's just like, all right, like your turn. He's just like, oh no, not me yet. He's just like, oh, I'll go, I'll wait my turn or whatever. Like
Yeah,
he's
dude,
just,
he pissed me off because then when it is his turn, he's like, "You proved your point."
yeah. He's like, I don't even need to do it. Like we know what you're trying to say. Like just pick the
Yeah.
best of us. Like so he doesn't even do it. Like he's just like, nah, I'm good. Like oh my
Uh,
god, bro. And then
actually,
I think that's when he says it because I think that's when Odysseus is just like, oh, like can I
yeah,
try?
he's like, "I'll do it."
And then he's just like, somebody get these beggars out of here. Like
God, bro, dude, and they were whipping his ass. At one point, Odysseus gives back the lot, or like the, I guess that's how they did random pickings. But he gives back the little like lot that Sinon took to go to war with
Oh,
him, and
oh
he's like,
my
"Oh yeah, like
god,
this is
yeah.
yours." And he starts like he's like, "This isn't mine," and then he freaking throws like a chair at him, bro. I was like, "Shit,
Dude, yeah, that oh man, that God, dude, this movie's I love that whole last like 30-40 minutes of movie is so good.
dude, it's the best climax, bro."
Oh shit, bro. Making me want to see it again.
Bro,
Ah,
take me to the 70 mil showing.
hey, we gonna see, bro. You gotta earn
Oh
it. No, I'm kidding.
my god.
What?
Yeah,
All right.
honestly, I do like the scenes though, like all the stuff that took place back in Ithaca, like in the hallway, and they're
Oh
like
yeah.
just in this big dining room with like lights and people are like feasting and stuff. Like I really bought into the whole like suitors, they've been there for years.
hmm
One thing I didn't like is how they were abusing the fuck out of dogs, bro. Like, oh
Dude,
my
they were
god.
kicking it, bro, and like that dog is
They
like
were kicking like a dying dog.
the dog's literally just
Argus.
waiting for Odysseus to
Yeah.
return so it can die, knowing he came home.
Yeah. Oh
It's
my
just
gosh.
waiting,
I
bro.
won't lie. When I first saw it, like that scene with him and Argus when they reunite, Argus isn't the first to recognize Odysseus as home. I think the first one is I think his name is literally Mentor. They have a character that mentors Tom Holland. His name's Mentor.
Wait, really?
Stupid. Yeah,
Let me look.
bro, this is one of the sleeper cast members, Ryan Hurst, who's was actually supposed to play Kratos. He's not anymore.
Oh, you're right.
He
Yeah,
was him.
you're
He was
right.
meant
Yeah,
to it,
you're
bro.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, he's the first one to like recognize him, and then I think it's Argus. Then it's one of the maids that like washes his feet, uh, because he has like a scar on his ankle or his
Oh,
leg from
yeah.
a hunting trip. Yeah, I feel like a lot of like callbacks to like those cuts that we see Nolan do in the beginning of like, oh, like I went like I don't know. I just feel like it all worked really well. Like that we see a young Antinius when he was a kid and like he hunted with his dad and stuff. It all just comes back.
God, bro. That's how you know it's a great screenplay, bro.
Dude, and Robert Pattinson's death was pretty sasatisfying.
It was.
Also, the dude that it was like you're Odyssey, and he just gets like an arrow to the throat. Bro, goaded.
Do I don't think we revealed this, but I don't think you can even tell this within the film. But Agamemnon is played by Benny Safdie.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say he's been in Oppenheimer. He's been in a couple other
Hmm.
movies.
It's kind of
Actually, him and
funny.
Pattinson were in Good Time,
They
which is
were.
like one of the Safdie brothers movies. It's one of my favorites, bro.
It is a good
But
movie.
I actually just thought of that right now. Fun fact.
Well, the I saw some memes. It's kind of funny because everybody's like talking about how Agamemnon is like ore farming and shit, but people found out that it's Benny Safdie playing him, and they, I'm not trying to roast Benny Safdie, but people are like posting pictures of him afterwards. They're like, "Oh, this is why he never took the helmet off, or like why you never see his face." Because they're saying he doesn't have the same aura without the whole fit on when you can see his face. They're like, "Oh, that's why he didn't take
Oh,
the helmet off, bro."
that's the whole point of the armor is to look good.
Yeah. No,
Obviously
yeah.
protect you, but like, damn,
All
the
right,
roasting,
Nick.
bro.
They are. Oh yeah. Also, Mia Goth is in this. I didn't even know that until I watched the movie. I was like, oh, that's Mia Goth.
Yeah, she plays like a servant.
Yeah, and
I
she's
don't.
like low key like trying to prey on the queen's downfall. Like she's like low key like hating.
Yeah, she kind of. I forgot she was in this too,
Yeah.
bro. Didn't her and Pattinson used to date, or was that Mia Goth and Shia LaBeouf?
I know
Actually,
she's
no, it
with
was.
Shia. Like she's like still with him. I think they have a kid together.
Really? What?
Yeah, they have a yeah. She's a mom, bro, with Shia LaBeouf.
Boy, no way.
Yep. Hey, there you go.
Mia
The
Goth.
more you know, bro.
No way. That's a real freaking name.
It's facts. Hey, bro. All right,
Yeah,
we're an hour and 10 in. I think I've touched on my favorite parts. We've said a lot about the story, about the characters, the actors. Are you prepared to give your final rating, Nick?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, Nick,
Let me
send
come
us off,
in.
bro.
I think this movie's a 10 out of 10. This,
Oh
this is my
shit!
favorite Nolan movie.
Oh
I
shit!
love that it was shot entirely on IMAX. Shut up, Beggar. Uh, the cast in this was really really well done. Everyone did their job, and I think Matt Damon especially gave, like you said, like I think he's gonna get an Oscar for this.
Mm.
And just seeing Chris Nolan adapt the Odyssey, and for years I was like racking my brain how he's gonna like represent these mythological creatures, giants and cyclopses, and like and sirens and stuff. I feel like seeing his take on it was really cool, and I
I agree.
think he mastered or has mastered probably since like Oppenheimer, like how to tell such a long grand story that takes the course of years in just a couple hours and cutting it back and forth for a really satisfying climax. I love this movie. I want to see it again in IMAX. And I honestly, after seeing it the second time, the first time I was trying to remember, like, man, like I feel like Nolan movies always end off with like such an important like question. And what
Mm-hmm.
was the final shot of the Odyssey, right? Like in Interstellar,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like Bran like on their new planet. In Oppenheimer, it's like him doing the meme stare. Uh, in this movie, it's the Trojan horse from the Battle of Troy. Like it's on fire. They're already like sieging it, and I feel like that was just a really cool shot to end off on.
I agree.
The movie ending off with Odysseus like going to honor his men, and them hoping like, oh, now that Tom Holland's king, like hopefully Zeus's law will be restored and like things can go back to the way they were. I feel like it was just such a perfect ending. Like such a important like thematic, I guess, idea behind the movie, like Oppenheimer. Like Oppenheimer, Loki made me feel super depressed thinking about like what happened. This one made me feel like also kind of like damn Odysseus going from like such an honorable man a general to kind of having to like, I guess, sacrifice his values and then come home with all this guilt, but to still have some hope. I feel like was just such a good movie, man. Oh my gosh, I need to see it again.
I think
Just
low
like,
key you cooking, bro.
yeah,
Because I do agree. I think Oppenheimer's ending hits so hard and kind of and Loki is like a gut punch, like right at the end, and you're like, damn. This one is like at the opposite end of that spectrum, you know, like you're kind of like, I think it'll probably hit more for me on the second watch because like I can kind of like, you know, see everything from like a larger perspective now. Um, Before I give my review, I think I'm going to I remembered I wanted to mention this. It's probably my only critique because I was
yeah. We
gonna
can talk a bit
say,
more. Honestly, I want to talk a bit more.
well, do you here talk about your critiques? Do you have like do you have anything that you're like I didn't like? Well, I mean, you gave it a 10 out of 10, so you probably don't.
I mean, I probably do.
Or
I
if they
like I
do,
said,
they're
I didn't like the
minor.
design of like that six-headed snake. I feel
Uh-huh,
like
uh-huh.
out of all the mythical beasts, that one was like the least visually stunning.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, there was a time before, like I guess the first watch I watched this movie. I was like, man, like that movie was amazing. I was like, I wonder how it would have hit if I was just like either media illiterate or just they casted a bunch of like nobodies,
Mm,
but
mhm,
like still the same good performance. I was like, damn, would that have hit different? You know,
mm. I feel you.
not that the cast like did a bad acting job,
But
but
it's
I was
just
like, man,
like
like
they're
what if
all very well known.
yeah,
Oh
because
yeah.
yeah, like I like Matt Damon. I haven't seen Jason Bourne, so when I see him on screen, I'm not like, yo, that's Jason Bourne. Like I just see Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Um, a little bit with Tom Holland, I was like, he's getting pretty up there. He's been Spider-Man for years, but I think, like I said, he does a fine job like playing like the prince. That's kind of kind of roast. What did you say? Roastable,
He's roastable, bro.
roastable. Um, I didn't. I didn't find honestly any sound design complaints like I would with
Mhm.
Tenet. Like I feel like I
I agree.
understood everything that people were saying, especially which was probably the most important scene is like Hades when he's getting all this like information to like help him get back home. Um, but yeah, I mean, I really don't really got a lot of critiques. Like the siren scene and the islands they landed on, I feel like were brief. And like the less is more approach is like just making you wonder, like, damn, like the island with the giants was a civilization. Were there more giants? They had like kids or like the sirens didn't really get a good look at them. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that those are really my critiques. Not a
Okay.
lot.
Yeah. I think the only one I can think of, I do agree with the like snake thing. It's just, you know, it just looks gray.
Yeah,
It's like whatever.
Transformers looked better, bro, and it was made like 20 years ago. Like, come on.
Yeah. I guess it's just such a it's so quick that it's like I don't care that much because it's only on screen for like maybe 10 seconds. Like it's, you know, there and then it's gone. But I'll double maybe I feel better in the rewatch, but I feel like the first 20-ish minutes maybe of the movie, like the very first part of it, kind of like it's a little quick with the editing. It's pretty fast, but like the movie's not fast paced really. I don't think it's just like I think since the film is so long and it has to get going and I think since it's on film, like it's on IMAX 70 millimeter, I think there's literally a limit for how much they can put on it before they like can't run it. I don't know if that's true or not. I think I read that, but I don't know if that's true. I didn't fact check it. But regardless, because of that, I do think the first like 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes at most to me, it feels like it kind of cuts around a little fast. Like just from scene to scene, shot to shot, like dialogue to dialogue. It feels like it's just trying to be like, okay, let's establish this as quick and concise as we can, what we're doing, what's happening, so we can get into the film. And then at that point, it does slow down at that point. Like once we get out and we get going, it does reach like a less like jumpy editing style. I feel like it feels less I feel like it just feels maybe jumpy in the beginning, but I understand why it's like that because it's you really can't meander too long because the movie's already long as hell.
Yeah.
But like I said, that was my initial thought when when I first watched this. In hindsight, it's the rest of the movie is so good and like the whole thing as a whole is just so good that like I don't really care. I don't think it's that big a deal. And it's not like it's a issue that keeps popping up here and there throughout the film. So I think I'll be able to speak more on this, on if this is a serious, like, I don't know about issue, but like just like a real critique of mine if when I see it again, because I'll be able to like maybe like I just needed to lock in and I wasn't locked in yet. I don't know. Like we'll see what happens on my rewatch, but I did notice that the first time I watched it, and I think actually Peyton mentioned that in his review. Peyton from our friend's other movie podcast. What is it?
Avenged Night.
Avenge Nerds. Yeah, let me read his thing real quick.
Yeah, I can sort of agree with you. Like honestly, on the second rewatch, I was more locked in because I was like,
Mhm.
oh, it starts off with like I said, Travis Scott telling the story. We see the Trojan horse, and then it cuts to them on Ithaca. Odysseus has been gone for years. Then he says, "Oh, I wonder where my dad would be." And then we cut to Odysseus, and then we also cut him between like him being on Calypso's island, and then when
Mhm.
he's wondering about his kids, then uh, his kid and his wife, like it cuts back to them. Like I feel like the cutting between like the two timelines was good until they finally converged.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love that. I love that. It's great editing. This is what Peyton said. He said, I felt
Damn.
the first act of the film was very choppy and weirdly paced, but once the Cyclops hits and beyond, it's a stunning piece of work from Nolan. So I don't know if I would agree with the entire first act feeling choppy, but I do
No.
think for me it was like maybe the first 10-ish minutes or so, like just because they're kind of, I remember them editing and jumping pretty quick between dialogue and different scenes just to like get things going.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, now that I'm thinking of a critique too, and this is just my opinion,
Mhm.
I feel like John Bernthal could have like at least tried to change up his delivery because when Tom Holland goes to visit him to ask about his dad, he's like, "You want to hear about Odysseus?" Hmm? Like he dead ass sounds like Frank Castle, bro.
Oh.
Like I closed my eyes on the second rewatch, and he's like, "Would you want to hear some gossip?" Huh? Like, bro, it dead ass just sounds like him,
Oh my
which is weird
god.
because like I like him as an actor, and I think recently he's been doing like Broadway stuff.
Hey, yo, he cooking.
Yeah, like live theater. So I don't know, maybe Nolan, or maybe this is just the translation because I know the one that they used was from I'm gonna look up her name because I don't want to just say it.
Oh yeah, look it up, bro.
It's Emily something, but this is her translation of the Odyssey, and it's pretty much to make it like Emily Wilson, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Uh to make it, I guess, more accessible to people and stuff, and like
Mm-hmm.
modernize a lot of the English. But yeah, I don't know. It just sounded like John Bernthal. Like I feel like out of all the performances, he's not even in the movie that much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it just sounded like the Punisher. Maybe that he's not
I
even that
get
big of
you.
a star.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like it's not even where I'm like starstruck. Like he shaved his head and had like a beard. Like he looked like an actual like, what's his name, Menelaus. Like he actually looked like Agamemnon's brother, like a fighter.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then
I,
he
I
just
I
got
get what you're saying. I think I can agree with that, but I feel like in a movie that's like basically 3 hours long, when the only issues you have are like some of the editing in the first 10 minutes of the film and an actor who's in it for like 5 minutes or less, like the way they speak. Like I feel like those, it's pretty small things in such a giant grand scale, like epic tale, you know?
yeah.
So I think for me, after prefacing all that, let me get back to my rating. I'm gonna give this film, after my first reroll or my first watch, this could be subject to change. I think I'm gonna stick with a 9 out of 10. I really want to give it the 10 out of 10 because I feel like it's like very deserving, but I feel like I need to watch it and see if it warrants that from me, because I really liked Oppenheimer. I saw it like 3 or 4 times, and I remember earlier you mentioned how you said that the editing and the jumping back and forth was kind of like, at first you were like, oh no, I feel about that, and then it took a watch or two.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that could be the case for me with this film. But for Oppenheimer,
Yeah.
like I just like was like locked in from the get go, and I feel like it hit like really hard. It was just very intense. Um, so yeah, I think for me, this is almost a perfect movie, and the only reason why I'm not giving that is because that, I don't know. I guess the choppy
Travis Scott.
editing. I don't no, not Travis Scott. Um, I don't know. Actually, man, part of me is wanting to like bump it up to a 10 right now because I'm just thinking like, am I being too harsh? Like, this is a good ass movie. Like, it's really good. Like, it could be a perfect film, bro. Like, so if it's perfect, like, I should give it a 10.
I mean, it is really good, dude.
It is very
For,
good.
for
I
Nolan,
mean,
like to adapt like a mythological story is insane because everything he'd done up to this point was like original work, right? Up to like Tenet, maybe.
mhm.
And then he did Oppenheimer, which is a book adaptation, and then this is like a Greek mythology adaptation. Like, I don't know, bro. It's perfect. I
I
just love it.
think I think for
I can
me,
see it
I'm gonna give
getting
it a
hella Oscar.
9.5. I'm giving it a
A 9.5.
9.5. Yeah, like it's almost perfect, but I am gonna give it a little bit of room just because
A fleet.
yeah, I want to hear him say it again. And I want to I feel like Loki there are some movies where they are they warrant a rewatch because they're just so grand in scale and this is 100% one of them. You know, there's so much going on that it could be a bit overwhelming to your senses. Like
Yeah.
genuinely. And like that's not a bad thing. That's just like it's like there's so much peak. I need to comprehend it a second time.
Yeah. Well, I feel like maybe that's why my score is higher. I've seen it twice.
That's
So
true,
like the
yeah.
second rewatch, I can kind of just chill. Right. I was on my phone. No, I'm just playing.
Dude,
Uh
shut up, bro.
like doom scrolling. No, but yeah, I appreciated the pacing more because like I saw how they did, switch from perspective to perspective. And like in my head, I was like, man, like this is the first act when like at the beginning, I guess when you say it's kind of choppy. That is kind of how I felt with Oppenheimer. Like I
Mhm.
forgot how it begins, but he's getting like investigated um by the government for possibly being like a what is it called? Like a fascist or a communist? It was like during
Yeah,
the Red Scare,
communist.
but yeah, he's on trial, and then the movie cuts between like when he first was at Oxford and stuff, and learning about like nuclear physics, and then them building the bomb. And I was like, holy shit! Like this is a lot of information, a lot of
Oh
talking,
yeah,
like
yeah,
fast
yeah.
paced.
I feel
That's how I
that.
felt about Oppenheimer. But then the second time I rewatched it, I was like, oh no, this film is gas.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah, having a
maybe
second rewatch really helps.
exactly. So I think that's why I'm gonna give it because it's almost it's like you got like you said, you got to see it the second time. When I see it the second time, when we record our like big update pod where we're talking about movies we missed over the last 2 months and any news like hey the Doomsday trailer just dropped but we're not talking about it we'll do that in the next episode when we do
Yeah, we will.
that maybe I will have seen the Odyssey again and I can see if my rating changed or not but yeah for now that's what we gonna do
The Pikachu.
9.5 9.5 from me and a 10 from Nick.
Yes, sir.
All right,
I don't think
bro.
I'm gonna change. I think that's movie of the year for me,
Damn.
unless the only thing that could possibly change it is Dune 3.
Not Avengers Doomsday.
Bro, come on.
I mean I don't know but you saw Gambit, bro.
Dude, if that was cool and Shang-Chi finally is back from retirement,
Hmm.
but if Doomsday has a scene, a chicken jockey scene actually,
Oh my
might
god.
have a chance, bro.
All right.
Chicken
Hey.
jockey.
Oh, I think that's gonna be it. We're about to reach an hour and a half of runtime on our pod, which is half of the Odyssey. So if you're still here,
I
if
love the
you're
long episodes.
yeah, if you're still here, we appreciate you listening, even if you skipped around or if you left it on playing. It's all good. No matter what, uh, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment down below if you have seen the film. I hope you have seen it if you're listening this deep into the episode. But let us know what you thought of the Odyssey. Did you think it was ass? Did you think it was peak? Did you think it was too woke?
Are you a beggar?
Are you a beggar? Like let us know if you agree with Nick or I honestly I would like to hear if there's someone out here that doesn't like it like genuinely and I want to hear their thoughts because we're in agreement. I really like the episodes where we disagree and like you like something and I don't or vice
I like
versa.
trap.
Yeah, oh, I love episodes like that because it just turns into like not arguing but just like very passionate debating. And
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah. Thank you guys for listening and or watching wherever you're viewing or listening this to. Make sure to follow us there. Down in the description below, like I said earlier, our letterboxes will be there. If you want to follow us, we will follow you back. I'll be better about posting my reviews. Yeah, we'll be posting episodes again, hopefully weekly. We gonna see. We had some technical difficulties recently, but hey, we're gonna try and lock back in. But yeah, thank you
Oh yeah.
guys for listening, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone.
A
I'm in.
fleet. I don't even know when we both did it.